RTX 30 series cards seem to be getting even more expensive. Let's talk about it. Before that, this video is brought to you by Rupro and their 4K HDMI 2.0B fiber optic cable. Are you tired of slow and tiny cables? Well, no longer, because this baby can deliver perfect quality 4K 60Hz HDR content up to an incredible 33 feet thanks to its 6 pure glass optical fibers, 2 oxygen-free copper wires, steel ring armor, and anti-EMI aluminum foil layer. And best of all, it's backed by a limited lifetime warranty. So if you want to get a high-speed, high-quality cable, be sure to click the link in the description below. So it looks like we're approaching about 4.5 months since the launch of the RTX 3080, and unfortunately you just pretty much can't buy it anywhere. I mean, even if you do everything right, you follow bots, you have your phone on you, you have your payment methods ready to go, you know, when that RTX 3080 does say it's in stock, it's really difficult to get. I mean, I was able to get an RTX 3070. In fact, I was able to get 2 RTX 3070s, one for me and one for my friend. However, an RTX 3080 just simply eluded me. And the only way I was actually able to get an RTX 3080 is because I was in the EVGA queue system for their For the Win 3 Ultra RTX 3080, and I had signed up like really early in the morning on day 2, and in fact it still took them, I believe, over 3 months to get to me. So yeah, taking 3 months to get to day 2 orders is really bad, and things don't seem to be getting better, and in fact, in some ways they seem to be getting worse. However, there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, at least that's what it seems, and I'll get to that at the end of the video, but first, of course, let's get through the bad news. So yeah, things in terms of stock-wise don't seem to be getting better, and they probably won't be getting better into February, simply because, you know, with the whole Chinese New Year happening, that's going to put an even further delay in shipments. So yeah, if you're expecting shipments to suddenly start ramping up in the next 2 weeks, that's probably not going to happen, and in fact it could even get worse. And to make things worse, it does seem like prices are continuing to increase. Now I'll talk about why they might actually start to decrease a little bit later in the video, but right now if you take a look at like street prices, RTX 3080s actually do seem to be getting more expensive. And in fact, even when you take a look at the AIBs, you know, it all started with Asus and they started increasing their prices, and then afterwards I believe EVGA and Zotac followed suit, and in fact Zotac seemed to, I believe, increase prices even further in some cases than EVGA. EVGA, I believe, had roughly a $70 increase across the board, which isn't horrendous, but you know, supposedly this is all due to the tariffs. So the tariffs have made you know, the MSRP increase for all of these GPUs. So now instead of getting an RTX 3080 for close to $700, you'd be pretty lucky to get them close to $800. In fact, it seems like a lot of the 3080s that are available whatsoever are going to be, you know, closer to $900 US, which is pretty insane because that's not including tax and shipping. So after you purchase an RTX 3080, instead of seeing that $700 sticker price, you might be walking away spending closer to $1,000 US, and that's if you're lucky enough to even find one. And you know, like I mentioned earlier, finding an RTX 3080 is incredibly difficult. So in reality, the only way to get an RTX 3080 right now would be, you know, either to pretty much buy a whole entire system, which is going to be a little bit more expensive, but in the end could actually be cheaper than trying to purchase it off of like eBay or something like that. And if you do want to buy it from a, you know, just a whole system with an RTX 3080, if that's the route you do want to go, I will have Amazon affiliate links in the description below, because heck, why not? Every purchase that you make after clicking one of those affiliate links, I think I do get a small percentage of that purchase back. But you know, the other way you can get an RTX 3080, and this is pretty much the only way you can get an RTX 3080 on its own right now, is to purchase them on eBay. And if we go ahead and take a look on eBay, you'll notice that the RTX 3080s seem to have risen in price over the last couple weeks. So originally the RTX 3080 was being sold by scalpers over on eBay for roughly somewhere around $1,200. And then in the following months, I noticed that it had increased to about $1,300. And now if we look on eBay, it's actually closer to $1,400 plus. And it looks like it might actually reach $1,500 for the cheapest selling RTX 3080s. Now, the way that I figured this out is that I went to eBay and I looked to sold and completed items only, and then I looked at, you know, the most recent sold and completed items, and basically the cheapest RTX 3080s that were legitimate sellings were selling for at least $1,400. They're between about $1,400 to $1,600, even sometimes $1,700 on eBay right now, which is absolutely insane because the RTX 3080, remember, was supposed to have an MSRP of $700. So now we're talking about it selling for double, and in some cases even more than double the price that it was originally supposed to be listed at. So yeah, things are not looking good. part of the reason is because of Bitcoin, and the price of Bitcoin absolutely skyrocketed. In January, it hit 40,000 US dollars. I believe like sometime maybe over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it was as low as 5,000 US dollars for a Bitcoin. So yeah, seeing something increase from $5,000 to $40,000, and the majority of that increase happened within a time span of 1 to 2 months. It really drove a lot of Bitcoin miners to purchase these as well if things weren't bad enough already. However, this does lead me to a couple of good pieces of information I'm going to leave you with, so you have just a little bit of hope going forwards, because we need to have a little bit of hope to hang on to, because trust me, I'm just as frustrated as you guys. In fact, in some cases I might be even more frustrated than you, because part of my business does revolve around new technologies, so I really want to, and in some cases need to, get my hands onto new GPUs if I want to make more content. So obviously we're all very frustrated, but the good news is, at least in terms of possible availability, is if you take a look at the price of Bitcoin, this is the first thing I'm going to touch on, it's actually dropped roughly, close to almost 20% since January. So the beginning of January, it was about $40,000. Now it's closer to $32,000. So it's, dropped almost 20%. And I just, in my opinion, and again, never make any financial decisions based off of what I tell you. I'm in no way a professional investor or anything like that. So if you buy or sell Bitcoin based on what I say right now, that's on you. I hold no responsibility, but I don't see Bitcoin rising. I know that there's a lot of people saying that, it might hit $100,000 or $200,000, but in my opinion, I think it's going to continue to drop off. I think that most of the people who were going to make their money have already made their money. Most of the miners who were going to make money have already made the majority of the money they are going to make. They were in there back when it was $5,000, either purchasing or mining it. Now that it's exploded, I think the majority of those people are going to continue to sell off their Bitcoin. That tends to be how it goes. But again, I'm not entirely sure that it could end up going the other way around. I just believe that that's probably what's going to happen. And if that is the case, then you're probably going to see a much higher amount of availability of RTX 3080s, both on eBay as well as on, just regular retail websites. Now, of course, the price isn't going to go down from, $800 to $900 US dollars for quite a while here until the tariffs are sorted out, which, who knows how long that could take. But hey, at least there might be some amount of availability. And then on top of that, I just watched a Gamers Nexus video where I believe he was talking about the car manufacturing companies seeing, similar availability issues. And I believe, I may be wrong, you may want to watch his whole video. I will have a link in the description below, but I believe one of them said that they expected in the next, I believe, 2, maybe 3 months to see supply kind of return to normal. And to me, that does make a whole lot of sense. So I'm guessing, and I've been saying this for a little while here, within the next 2 to 3 months, you should see availability start to come back a little bit to normal. I know Nvidia was also releasing the RTX 2060 and 2060 Super back into the market to hopefully help the supply at least a little bit as well. So, when you take into account, extra GPUs hitting the market, Nvidia signing that deal with Samsung a little while ago, supposedly that they were going to produce, double the amount of 8nm wafers. And then you also add in the fact that I believe people were estimating it's going to get better in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm estimating it's going to get better in the next 2 to 3 months. I think Bitcoin is going to continue to drop in value, so it's going to be less worth it to mine. So a lot of those people who are just mass buying cards right now probably will turn away from that. But, if all that does end up happening, I think in the next 2 to 3 months, hopefully it ends up getting at least a little bit better, and you do have at least somewhat of a chance to buy an RTX 3080. Because, yeah, if you follow, stock drops on Twitter and on Discord, you do have a good chance of getting a 3070. You got a good chance of getting a 3090, I believe even a 3060 Ti. But that 3080, man, is it hard to get, and it has been out for quite a while. But hey, I'm still waiting for that 3080 to actually launch. But hey, that's just what I think. What do you think about the actual stock and availability issues right now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to drop a like. Every time you do so, AMD and Nvidia get more stock. Also, if you want to see more, click here. You won't be disappointed.